still spinning.
The station
There we go.
where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR
Yeah,
Talk.
Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. You're giving veterans a voice today. Powered by Work Simple, where we simplify your mission.
Find us on the web at mbradio.com.
We begin on the tracks, rails stretching beyond the horizon. Each tie a memory, each rail a promise of where we might go. In the early years, our first logo appeared, a pioneer stepping onto the platform of possibility. Through seasons of growth, change, and challenge, we moved forward. The whistle of opportunity sounded, and we boarded the train of time. The view changed with every mile, some stations brief, others lasting. Our logos changed too, not just emblems, but mile markers of evolution. Along the way, seats filled with teammates, mentors, veterans, and friends. Some stayed for the ride, others stepped off, leaving their legacy on the rails behind us. And still, the journey continues. The tracks ahead stretch into the unknown, familiar yet full of new promise. What matters most is how we travel, with purpose, with grit, with heart. Because the journey matters, the movement matters, and the legacy of those logos, every year, every show, lives on in the rhythm of these rails. So here we are once again, all aboard. The whistle blows, the tracks call. Together we ride. We are the H-Train Show, showing veterans programs beyond the VA since 2015. H is in the building now.
Let's go! Are you ready for the H-Train Show?
It's coming live.
I took the oath. 20 years I gave my soul. Sandstorms, fire, a roadside blast. Everything I knew shattered fast.
You haven't seen nothing yet! Woo! Woo!
Drowning in turmoil, 15 meds, mine in a haze. Living felt like a permanent death. Still standing, scarred and proud. Crushed by war, but I won't stay down. Voice of the broken, thunder in my chest with the freedom fighters rising from the wreck. Parents pulled me from the edge of night, pushed me forward back into the light. Ski boots on, carving through pain. Found my fire on that frozen terrain. Said I was too old to beat the race, so I trained like hell, put them in their place. From slurred words to a podium stand, yeah, I'm racing with lightning in my hands. Still standing, scarred and proud. Crushed by war, but I won't stay down. From Kokomo to Olympic slope, we're the freedom fighters born to cope. Now I take the mic, not a rifle. Broadcast truth, yeah, that's survival. Paralyzed, but still I lead. With every word we plant a seed. Still standing, warriors loud. Can't break us, we screaming proud. Not wounded, we're on the attack. Freedom fighters, and we're taking it back. Freedom fighters, yeah, yeah. Keep rising.
Welcome into the H-Train Show. I'm Amber. Thank you for joining us on Friday morning. I don't know what happened to Joel, but I'm here. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. We were having some issues backstage. Everybody could hear them when they were talking during the intro. So I don't know what's going on, but we have a pretty interesting show today. Joel's got all the notes in here for me. I don't want to start without him, but so let's talk about what's going on this week. FIFA or FIFA. I'm not exactly sure how to say it because I don't watch it, but I have been so enthralled and excited with all of the TikTok videos and stuff of all of the people coming over and experiencing our country and experiencing thunderstorms for the first time. You know, that's pretty interesting. Living in Florida for over 20 years, I've experienced a lot of thunderstorms, lightning storms. My husband actually got struck by lightning in Florida. So that was interesting. I actually watched that from the window. So the fact that people are coming over and experiencing that kind of stuff for the first time is kind of mind-blowing. I never even thought about the fact that over in Britain, for instance, that they don't experience that kind of weather. So I can't remember what else. Oh, so for all of you guys who watch my show, Into the Weeds podcast, we have been following the Kayla Huff story. And this week, Elena Mason had her hearing, and she is going to be moved to another county. So we're going to have to go to a whole nother county to follow that story in that case to bring it to you. But hopefully we can get more information about it and see what really happened that day to Kayla. So I guess I'm on my own this morning. I don't know. Good morning, Terry. I see our guest is already here, which is amazing because normally they don't show up for another hour. So I'm excited about that. I may actually bring him in if Joel doesn't come in pretty soon. I may take over Joel's show. So let's see what else is going on today. Well, I'll just go to his notes and we'll wing it from there. Let's see. Well, he's got a whole segment about the mail call and VATSA pre-check. Okay, so let's see. Well, we got an alert from the VA this week talking about the VA TSA pre-checks and how it's free for veterans. And, actually 100% disabled veterans. And anybody who travels a lot, that is a huge blessing because it takes forever to get through those lines. And I know sometimes I will have a cane when I go into the airport. And luckily people will, actually assist me and take me through the lines and stuff. But when I don't have that cane, they definitely don't help. So having the pre-check available is awesome. But you actually have to go to your local airport or an Office Depot. Just go to the TSA website, put in your zip code, and then that will come up, and you can see if there's an Office Depot or a municipal airport somewhere around you where you can sign up for that, and it's well worth it. Well worth it. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay, so HD says the computer won't connect to the Wi-Fi. We had to restart it. Okay, so I'm on my own. Yay. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what he says. Okay. We're going to go to Prime Day scams. Okay, so there is fake Amazon and email and text messages coming out. And so don't click on any suspicious links and log directly into Amazon to verify any orders. So I haven't heard anything about that. Let's see. Okay. Well, it's all good, HG. Thank you. I feel weird. Okay. So anyways, we are going to get into the What the F segment. Okay. We're just going to play that real quick. If I can find his segment. They left me stranded. Okay, here we go.
The WTF.
Here we go.
Okay.
Hi. Hi.
Oh.
Hi, baby. Hi. Oh my God. Hi.
Are you good?
Hi. Hello. Oh.
Oh.
Hey. Hi. Hi.
Okay. Oh, that's okay.
Well, that was absolutely adorable. I love elephants. Actually, my husband's favorite animal is elephants. I actually have an elephant tattoo. Well, I can't really see it. Elephant tattoo, fishing. So that was absolutely adorable. I would absolutely adore playing around with the baby elephant. So let's see. Okay. Actually, Alex, I will just bring you up now. So since I'm on my own, and it will be a lot easier for me to do that. Okay. Let me find the interview of the week segment. You guys, this is not my studio, so I can't find the interview of the week segment. Oh, there it is. Hello, Alex. Sorry that you have come on such a day where we are having technical difficulties.
Oh, I'm happy to be here, and I couldn't tell there's any technical difficulties. You probably could have gotten away with not saying anything.
I know, but I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? Well, so thank you for joining us. I was watching some of your interviews this week in preparation for interviewing you today, and I find you extremely fascinating. So can you please
that's
just
a huge compliment. Thank you.
Yeah. So can you just please tell us a little bit about you and who you are?
Yeah, love to, and shout out to your audience. Thanks for having me, and thanks for listening. I'm coming to you from Toronto, Canada. You know, the Great White North. Born in Canada, grew up here, but you know, I studied architecture, so I'm an architect, a licensed architect, and basically studied all over the world. I got 3.5 degrees in architecture. I actually dropped out of the Architecture Association in London after it would have been almost my 4th degree. But I was like, you know what, I've got to start my life, and moved back to Canada after doing a fellowship in New York, and started my architecture firm, Partisans, and called my architecture firm Partisans because I believe in the power of design and the political importance of architecture to really tell the world what our values are through our cities and our buildings. And I also knew that great architecture, you know, a lot of times history simplifies things for ease of consumption, and it's usually one person gets all the credit. But you know, great things take a group, a village, and I think your audience can agree to that. You can't win any battle alone. You have to do it as a team. And building architecture, it takes so much time. It takes so many people. It takes so many people fighting for that cause. And you know, Partisans also harkens back to the Eastern Europeans, partisans in World War II, and the importance of really believing in a cause, fighting for it, and being sort of like outsiders. And so I've always found that politics and history and the idea of it takes a village, and camaraderie is being central to the act of creating great architecture. So buildings of all scales, you name it. And so we call ourselves Partisans, and we've got work all over the world now. Everything from we're doing a construction workers memorial is our smallest project right now, all the way up to a huge project for a Live Nation in Toronto called the RBC Amphitheater, and all sorts of things in between. And one of my most, one of the things that I'm most excited about in my life is actually a project called Cumulus, which I built as a memorial to my father. My father asked me to design his memorial, and legacy has always been really important to me and my family. And my father was always interested in his legacy. And when he asked me, when he was being treated for cancer, to design his grave, well, actually, he asked me to design a family tomb. And this was what got me on the journey of building my project called Cumulus, which is really an effort to build an extraordinary, beautiful, and poetic and solemn space for our memories and legacy online that is informed by everything beautiful in architecture and ambitious about design that I think isn't democratized and available to the world. Like a lot of people think that design and architecture is for the rich. And I thought, what could I do that could give anybody the possibility of a beautiful designed experience, but digitally. So bytes instead of bricks. And so my father inspired me to do this, and then my wife, who actually works in New York in tech investment, she was like, "You should bring this to the world. You should try and help people create a legacy for themselves too." And in an age where we're all, seemingly connected by all of our devices, we have never felt more lonely. I think people feel lonely, and that we have all this technology, but our lives are trapped on our phones. And in short, like what would a physical grave say about my father and his achievements in life, or my grandfather's? Nothing. A digital memorial is so much more evocative and complete. It can include interviews. Anyway, so my father got COVID, was in the hospital for a year, and while he was in bed, I raised the money to build Cumulus, and we went live in the last 6 months. So I'm an architect come tech founder.
Well, I find that fascinating, and I didn't realize that a lot of people in architecture are activists. I mean, I guess it goes hand in hand, but I never really thought about it until I heard some of the interviews you were doing. And so I thought that was extremely fascinating to learn. And then the Cumulus, I love storytelling. I love legacy building. And so that project just intrigues the heck out of me, because I have tried a couple of times doing some things with my family to kind of build like a time capsule of sorts. I'm not sure what to call it exactly,
That's it. A time capsule is a great way of putting it.
Yeah. And so, but I have a hard time getting people to participate.
Well, how are you? My question to you is, how are you doing that? I'm so curious, because I know you're not the only one. Tell me what you did to try and do that. I'd like to learn.
Yeah. So what I'm just doing on my own is collecting information about my family. I had a local genealogist do a few things for me. So I got a book put together on a certain segment of my family. Then I want to actually get their voices on record. I actually want to record them talking about different things in their life, and putting that either to video or in a book, online somehow, something. I don't know. I'm just trying to collect information, and I'm not sure what it's going to look like in the end.
And the question is, where do you put it and how do you share it? Right.
Exactly.
And then how do you know who's going to have it? And where is it in 100 years? It's such a, and it's funny. Statistically, I wasn't trained to be a tech person, right? I'm an architect, but architecture is obsessed with legacy. I mean, a lot of architects are hired at the whims of egos, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a natural thing to ponder this in our field, but it's also a natural thing to question the norm. And like in the context where, you know, really extensive physical memorialization in cemeteries is unattainable anymore. I mean, it's really for veterans. Fortunately, you can go, you get automatic inclusion in VA cemeteries, which are gorgeous, wonderful places for the most part. But it is a very minimal, what you'd call physical memorial. And what does that say about your achievements outside of your accomplishments in the military? You know, like you have these families, you may have done other things, you may have written a book, you may have been an entrepreneur, who knows, right? You may have a huge family with a huge legacy to pass on. But the question to me was, all these things like your genealogy or videos or interviews, where we live a multimedia life now. So your physical book that you've got, okay, great, you print some copies. What do you do with them? Where do they go? But if you had my idea was like, can we create a central repository that's like the immersive VR enabled minority report of our memories that we can pass on and build it all on the same principles as a cemetery, and have like a storage trust where we put 5% of the revenue into a charity essentially that is maintaining the platform forever, regardless of whether I exist or some hooligan CEO, right? Because you can't really trust, you know, like I don't think you can trust big business to manage your legacy. I don't think you can trust big tech to manage your legacy either. I'm very skeptical, and like I think that my outsider quality that I bring to this problem. So it's like, where are you putting all these things that you're doing with your genealogist? Are you putting it on Dropbox? Are you putting it on Google? How do you pass it on? How do you feel about it?
So what are you doing at Cumulus to, you know, solve that problem?
Well, I mean, I think I have to give you I'm going to give you guys both a free perpetual license, and I hope that it helps your families. But basically, I don't know if you had a chance to check it out, but Cumulus is really about being able to access a three-dimensional experience around your memories, and it being able to preserve any format. I think the big issue today is we have like planned obsolescence of formats and technologies that benefit big companies. And I wanted to create a beautiful space and place online where, yes, if you worked with a genealogist or a biographer, you could put those different formats, whether it's a video or a book, and be able to read it off of Cumulus, or invite 100 of your family and friends to what I would call like crowdsource the legacy of the family. Because, by the way, Amber, like it's funny, like my grandmother did this also, and she was a successful go-getter, you know, born in their teens and started a business in 1935, a woman in Toronto. That's a big deal, you know. And and she made this album in the 80s of all of her family members and all this stuff. It's falling apart. It's in my house. It's just a fluke that I found it. But like, I thought, you know what, my grandmother had enough time and chutzpah and grit to make some money and leave something to help me. The least I can do is do her the honor of preserving this somehow. And so I had it all digitized. And what Cumulus lets you do is have peace of mind that anything that's digital, you can put there, and you can collaborate with your family and friends, and you can even map where everybody in your family is from or buried, and you can pass that on. And even if you're working with a cemetery or an arrangements provider, you can connect the account so that you have this kind of continuity of care in your family. And I just think that like social media and other options out there, these sort of storage facilities online, they don't care about our legacy, really. They don't care about these problems. So what we're doing is trying to make a beautiful place and space where all these memories live.
Good morning, you guys. How are you today?
Good morning, Joel.
Hey, Alex, sorry about the trouble this morning. Evidently,
what trouble? We're here. There's no trouble. I'm with Amber. I'm with you. Everything's good. It's Friday.
I just wanted to take a moment and let you know. Appreciate you coming on the show. Really appreciate it. We are on TikTok as well. Amber, as always, thank you so much for for chiming in and helping me during the weak spot. You're talking about spaces and stuff, and I don't know if Amber has already asked you, but I've been doing this since 2015, this radio show. And, many veterans, they struggle to find peace after service. How important do you believe that architecture is in creating spaces that promote healing, mental health, and community?
Yes. Oh my gosh. So when the story of how this all happened was my father was on chemo for cancer. This is a guy who, saw the whole world, was a doctor, was a PhD.
I'm sorry about that as well.
No, it's all good. It's all good. We're all living mortal beings. I think in North America, we try to pretend that we're going to live forever and we don't want to talk about death, but this is a military radio broadcast. So death and mortality, it's in the picture, right?
Yes.
And so growing up in a military family, you think about it. Growing up in a medical family, we think about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that our culture in North America is to sort of ignore it and pretend it's not there, right? And that grief you speak of needs space. You know what I mean, Joel? The act of building this memorial for my father, he survived miraculously. And he's still alive to this day. But I had to say goodbye to him a few times in the hospital that year because we were told he was going to die.
Right.
And that experience of losing someone or potentially losing something changes your life, but you need the space and a place to grieve or something to do to help you grieve. And I felt like preserving my family's memories, but also building the space and place where others could also benefit and be helped in their grief and help through their time of need was such a fulfilling experience. And I thought a good legacy and homage to my father too. I did well by him,
Mm-hmm.
and he miraculously pulled out of it. But, for military families, it's probably so much more acute, especially in the case of if you die in the field, right? How do you come together and how do you grieve together? How do you create a space and a place that creates that dignity? Because it's extended beyond that moment of the burial, right? And it's so much more than the gravestone. And so that was the whole idea with Cumulus.
It's funny that you bring this up because I was just talking to my friend Stokely about this. Whenever somebody's sad or really upset, the one thing that makes them feel better is when they have a purpose, when they're doing something actively, And one thing that I've noticed after meeting Stokely's son and meeting other, disabled or anybody that has a disability, when you have a disability, you have a superpower. You just have to find that superpower, right? For example, Alex, your disability would be just like mine, like glasses. It's one of those. It's one of those things. That's a disability, right? But
technically,
you, the way you dealt with the grief, the way that you dealt with your father's cancer, you created something. You created a purpose, and once you created that purpose, not only do you have something that's long-standing legacy for your father to look at, but it kept your mind off of what was bothering you. Because that war that we have in our head, it just keeps on shooting each other. And that's one thing that we have to survive. So when you brought up, what you did during your father's, treatment cancer, the trials and tribulations, we've been trying to teach other veterans that's what they need to do. They need to find their purpose. And after they find their purpose, they can concentrate that and life gets easier. I'm not going to say better, but it gets easier step by step. So I'm glad that you brought that up. Now, looking ahead 20 or 30 years, and this will be the last question before we go to time to shine unless Amber has another one. But looking ahead 20 or 30 years, what do you think buildings and cities will look like? I mean, I saw a building not too long ago that looked like a satellite dish. I mean, buildings are getting crazy the way they build them now.
You know, like the world's complicated. It's getting more and more complex. The needs of everybody around the world is getting more complex, but our cities are going to continue to evolve, and the architecture is going to reflect that complexity. But the reality is, a lot of that, what you'd call satellite dish, is that building a spaceship? That's rarefied. That's rarefied space. Those are very expensive buildings to construct and require enormous resources and coordination.
Yeah.
The most radical cities in the world being built right now architecturally are arguably in China and Saudi Arabia. But I think that American cities have this extraordinary history. So do places like Paris, Tokyo. They'll be recognizable, but what you're going to see are these exclamation points, these extraordinary follies and exceptions that meet the mark in terms of the complexity of the day, and a reflection of the technology and the building science and the materials of our moment. And so I think in 20 and 30 years, buildings are going to be healthier. They're going to be extraordinary forms, and they're going to reflect where we're going as societies, and which is to the moon, right? So we're going to, I think the architecture is going to get more and more radical. But like what connects us all, I think, when you talk about people and loss, is I think the sense of purpose and belonging. And I talk about technology a lot. I think technology has removed our sense of belonging, and where we belong is in the context of the families we're part of, and the networks of people that we impact. And I think focusing, it's funny, like as an architect, yeah, I'm focused on the physical world. It's pretty superficial in a certain way, right? These buildings also don't last forever. The oldest surviving structures are a few thousand years old, right? Yeah. The sun is going to extend and consume the earth in 5 billion years. I think that the more important thing is to find purpose through the relationships we have and the prosperity we build for the next generation. I have 2 daughters. If I leave some extraordinary architecture for them to be proud of, great. But I think if I leave them with a strong connection of who their father was and their grandfather and the lineage they come from, I'm not some aristocrat from England or France or whatever, but I think that I had a productive life so far. I meant well. I did well. I have 2 beautiful daughters, an adoring, successful wife, and they should know that they were loved and that people achieve things and they can achieve anything themselves. And I think the more people know that, and I really do believe it's universal, I think that if we were able to pass on the love that I think is inherent to any parent of any class, the world will be a better place. And so, I think architecture is a vessel of legacy, but I think that people in 20 to 30 years, if we're going to be a more peaceful world, need to feel the connection. If they feel alone, I think you have a world where when everybody feels alone, it's a more violent, dangerous place.
That's very true.
Connect people either through architecture or technology.
Yeah, well, I've recently gotten into architecture because I grew up in southern Oklahoma, and then I lived in Florida for a long time. So there wasn't much architecture. It was all just, brand new stuff or stuff falling down, right? And I moved to Missouri, and I've just been so fascinated with all of the beautiful homes and the architecture around here. And so I just thank people like you that actually care about what you're doing, because sometimes I'll drive through St. Louis or something like that, and I'll just be like, why don't people care anymore?
They do care. I just think we have to reconnect and talk about it. Like, I think we all do care. But the world's going through a transition right now. This is a very unstable moment. And I think if we can come together and find a positive way forward, there's going to be an amazing future in 30 years, as Joel asked, right?
Yeah.
But if we don't don't, the danger is like, I don't even contemplate the other side of it. So I'm trying to be a force of good. But I think the more we can all pass on that message, and the discussion of legacy, I think, is the perfect platform for it. And your audience, I mean, a lot of people in your audience probably are inspired by the legacy of what they're part of.
Yeah.
So the more that we are all feeling connected to something bigger than ourselves, it makes the purpose and meaning of life very clear to me. And I feel good. And if we can all hold on to that and be a part of things that are about uplifting that, then I think that I'm going to be a very happy, hopefully, old man one day.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Hey, Alex, we're running out of time for next segment. Amber, did you have another question before we go to the time to shine?
Well, I have lots of questions. I'm just going to have them come on my show.
There you go.
I'm happy to come. Happy to come.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. It is Alex's time to shine. Alex, we might not have asked you that right question to set you up for that right answer. So
I'm excited. What does it mean?
The next 2 minutes is your platform. If you have any events coming up or anything special to say to veterans listening to this program right now, you was talking about purpose. You basically was talking about how in society right now we're kind of in isolation. So this is your 2 minutes to say whatever you would like to say to the veterans that are listening and watching today.
Well, I think, wow, time to shine. And I'm speaking to the veterans of the world. Well, at least American veterans. Like, we owe everything, the possibility of having this discussion on this radio show to you and the sacrifices you've made. So I'm grateful to that, and I'm aware of it. And I think that other people outside of your immediate spheres are also aware of it. I'm an architect in Canada, and I'm hoping that you feel my gratitude. And if anything, right now, I think that our countries in particular, like, this is really paradise, North America. It's this island on this planet, in this universe, and we have so much prosperity and things we can do together. So I want to just say that your legacy is an important one, and our countries are close friends and allies, and I look forward to a strong future together. Putting my architecture hat on, I think that the more we can be romantic about the buildings and the things that we want to bring into the world together, the better. So build better, leave a legacy with what you build, please. If you need help, let me know. And if you want to bring your family together and feel connected and try to ensure that the legacy you have continues, hop onto Cumulus and try it out. It's free. You don't have to pay for it if you don't want to. If you want to pay for it, you can. But I'm excited to see what your audience has to say about it. And Amber, I'm going to send you and Joel an invitation to join. And then all you've got to do is invite all of your family and your closest friends, and let's see what kind of time capsules you build. Awesome. And what you guys leave on.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I like this. Alex, thank you so much for coming on. I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm sure everybody enjoyed hearing and listening to what you had to say. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we're talking with Alex Josephson. I hope I didn't butcher that. I'm like Swedish.
No, you did great.
Oh, awesome.
You killed it.
He's basically an architecture genius. Please look at his website, check him out, and I'm sure we'll have you on the show again for some more updates, because I'm sure you're going to do some amazing things more coming up in the future. You're still young, Alex, so But I appreciate you coming on. I really do.
Thanks a lot, guys, and thank you, Amber, as well.
Yes, thank you, Alex, and I'll be reaching out for you to come on the show.
Amazing. Happy Friday, everybody.
Have a great day.
Bye.
All right, everybody. Well, hey, we're back.
And I made it through.
And if you didn't realize it, you're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA. You're listening to the H Train Show right here on the station that's letting our veterans' voices be heard, MBR. So we're kind of totally out of whack. So, instead of going on commercial, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just hit mail call real quick. So play that funky music.
Attention, mail call.
Oh my God!
You've got mail.
Welcome to Mail Call, your soldier spotlight, powered by Work Simple, highlighting those who serve and inspire.
We couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I noticed that. All right. So Major Nichols Dockery is one of the most decorated Special Forces officers of post 9/11 era and a recipient of the Medal of Honor. Born in Indianapolis, Indiana, and raised by the grandmother, my bad. Dockery's journey to the military service was built on determination and perseverance. After initially being denied admission to the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, he enlisted in the Indiana Army National Guard as an infantryman and later transferred to the New Mexican Army National Guard. While participating in Army ROTC, Dockery was eventually accepted to West Point, graduating in 2011 with a Bachelor's of Science degree before commissioning as an infantry officer. He deployed twice to Afghanistan, serving in some of the conflict's most dangerous regions. During his first deployment in 2012, his extraordinary courage as a platoon leader earned him a Silver Star. That was later upgraded to the Medal of Honor. His second deployment further demonstrated his leadership while advising Afghan security forces during the country's first Afghan-led presidential election. After earning the coveted Green Beret in 2015, Dockery joined the 7th Special Forces Group Airborne, where he commanded Operational Detachment Alpha 744. In 2018, he led special operations missions throughout the northern Afghanistan, earning a second Silver Star, becoming the only commissioned U.S. Army officer to receive 2 Silver Stars. Since September 11, 2001, though, throughout his career, Dockery has received numerous prestigious honors, including, and not taking anything away, including the Award for Valor at Arms General Douglas MacArthur Leadership Award, Military Times Foundation Soldier of the Year, and the Ben Franklin Global Forum Admin Charles Lemoyne Distinguished Soldier Award. He also earned advanced degrees from Yale University Jackson School of Global Affairs and pursued an MBA at the University of Pennsylvania Wharton School. Following assignments at the National Security Council, the White House Security Council, the White House Fellows Program, and U.S. Special Operations Command, Dockery retired from active duty in May of 2026. His military decorations include the Medal of Honor, 2 Silver Stars, the Legion of Merit, Soldier's Medal, Bronze Star Medal with 2 oak leaf clusters, and the Purple Heart with 1 oak leaf cluster. Recognizing the invisible wounds many veterans carry, Dockery founded the Necklace Dockery Foundation in 2025, inspired by his own experiences with post-traumatic stress and the healing power of art and equine therapy. The foundation provides funding and support for programs that help veterans and other facing mental and emotional health challenges to build their lives. And I don't know. I know that you did I know that you did one of the stories. Did you do all three of the stories, Amber, already? The top three stories?
I just did the segment.
Okay.
Well, so this guy is high speed. That is the definition of high speed.
Yeah. He's definitely a smart cookie, that's for sure.
Yep.
So what I know that you did. I know you talked about the TSA thing.
Yes.
Whew, that was a rat race when I was looking for it. We did a commercial and I got to redo that. Prime Day, scams are getting bad, and you was talking about this too. Denver's getting really bad too. You'll get text messages from like the Toll Express saying that you owe something, and then when you click it, bam, there you go.
Really?
Whenever you're dealing with your phone or internet, I'm pretty sure Amber already covered this. Don't click it. In fact, I take it and I put it through Chat GPT. Let it tell me if it's good or not. So, before we go on our next break, because I'm trying to get this in here, ladies and gentlemen. It is the next segment. Drop the date. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today is June 26th. Today, in 1945, the United Nations Charter was signed. Representatives from 50 nations gathered in San Francisco to sign this Charter of the United Nations. The world was still reeling from World War II, and leaders wanted to create an organization dedicated to preventing another global conflict. Sound familiar? Yeah, the Charter established the United States nation with the goal of maintaining international peace, promoting cooperation among nations, protecting human rights, and resolving disputes. Although diplomacy, got it, instead of war today, the UN has grown to nearly every recognized nation on Earth and continues to play a major role in peacekeeping, humanitarian aid, international cooperation for veterans. This date is especially meaningful because the sacrifices made during World War II helped pave the way for a new era of global cooperation. And many of the freedoms that we enjoy today, well, they were secured by those who served during that generation. History isn't just about remembering the past. It's about understanding how the sacrifices of yesterday continue to shape the world we live in today. And ladies and gentlemen, that is drop the date. All right.
If you're a conspiracy theorist, that is a day that will live in infamy.
One thing I haven't heard you cover on your show, talking about conspiracy theories, have you did one on DIA yet?
No.
Ooh.
What do you? We'll talk about it later.
All you have to do is YouTube DIA, and there's a conspiracy theory.
Oh, you're talking about the Denver airport?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I've watched a bunch of those videos. I've just never done anything because I don't feel like I can add to the discussion, but.
Oh, I think you could, especially since you've visited there a couple times. I think that would be interesting, But one of the things that I wanted to talk to everybody about is if there's some people that didn't know, I believe it was Monday. Was my birthday.
Yes.
Or was it Tuesday?
Wednesday.
Yeah. Oh, Wednesday. Okay, yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah. So Wednesday was my birthday. And a huge shout out to the Micro Center. So my 3D printer was just it just wasn't doing what it was supposed to. And I found out that there's a little feed trail in the back of a P2S, a P12S. They're so brand new. They're still working the kinks out. And I went to Micro Center. and I showed them what was going on, and they did. I was wanting them to fix it. They didn't even want to fix it. They just gave me a whole brand new one right in the box. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my 7th one. So I'm getting really good at setup,
That's crazy.
So I'm like putting it together, and I look at my wife and I'm like, wow, this is really working. She's like, yeah. Odd when stuff happens when it's supposed to, right? Yeah. It's like an embroidery machine. You know how you have the embroidery machine with all these threads, and you put in a picture and bam, it does. Same thing with this. So anyways, this is awesome. Now, I'll let Amber show you because I sent her the picture. She can load it up while I'm talking.
Oh.
But so yesterday, I created my first Winnie the Pooh duck that I'm going to show you. And the reason why I'm having Amber show you the image is because check this out. Since it's my birthday, and I don't think we're going to do skydiving this year because we haven't really got the participation or the emails like we anticipated. So I think what we're going to do is we're probably either going to do like a bounce house meet up, or we're going to do like a picnic. We're going to find out here in Denver what all the volunteers want to do. But the person that donates the most money by the end of the month, doesn't matter if it's Facebook, doesn't matter if it's Stripe, we'll have your email because you donated, but you're going to get the first beaker that we've ever done. And the reason why this is an incredible achievement is because beaker is I'm trying, we talked about legacy and stuff. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create legacy as MBR so that when it comes to, hell, you never know. It might be Beaker MBR might be like Walt Disney, one of these days. So it's going to be interesting to where we go from here, but you will receive the first beaker. I promise that it will look good. I'm not going to give you my my garbage, or anything, but the first beaker, it's going to go to the person that donates the most. All the money that we get donations from my birthday fundraiser, we'll be doing something for our DJs. I think what we might do is send everybody a hat or something that we don't have to get sizes, something nice. We'll definitely think about it. But Sunday was Father's Day.
Yes.
And we hope that everybody had a great Father's Day. I hope Charles had a fantastic Father's Day.
He did.
I had a really good Father's Day. My daughter traveled halfway. She found a way to get to Denver, and we spent the day together. And I saw my granddaughter, and my granddaughter was all cute in her little dress, a little butterfly thing on the back. My daughter even did her hair. The babies, they barely have hair, but she had like pigtails. It was so cute. But yeah, I had a fabulous Father's Day. I had a fabulous birthday. I ate Raising Cane's for dinner. That's what I did. And
I don't like that.
Yeah, we just chilled.
I don't like their food.
You don't? Mm-mm. Yeah, well, you have a special diet.
That is true, but I break it all the time. But
that's very true. Before we go to our commercial break, because we're going to go ahead and go to our commercial break, I want to just remind everybody that we are powered by Work Simple. If you want a community workplace, don't want to drive too far to the office, this is a perfect place to go. No contracts, no monthly fees. And it's amazing. Yeah, I mean, you got rent, of course, that is a fee, but you don't have to pay a deposit or anything like that. So if you're looking for a gallery or something to do your hobby in or your workspace, make sure you check out Work Simple. Mm-hmm. We're also on Internet Radio Network, DV Radio, and last but not least, Star Radio. So, with that being said, Amber, we're going to go on our first music break. And when we come back from our first music break, we are at the time where we're probably going to hit the fact or cap. So whatever you do, stay with us, don't go away. It's going to get wild right here on Red Friday, June 26, 2026, the H Train Show, right here on the station those let voices be heard, MBR. Stay with us.
Between our toes by men who crossed oceans and came back close. They didn't talk much about the hell that they saw, just tipped their hats and lived by the law. We learned early on, you stand or you fall, carry your weight or you don't stand at all. From a hard day's work, no time for lust, showed us what a man is by what a man does. We weren't raised quitters, suck dust, bent steel, learned to take a hit before we learned to feel. Don't be freedom's foe. That's how it goes with the Boomer Boys. With the Boomer Boys. Yeah. We cut our own switches, drank from roadside ditches, learn which way the river really flows. Yeah, smart enough to always peek downstream. Hard lessons not every generation knows. Work through sickness, sweat, broken bones. Didn't need a lot to stand on our own. Punched the clock, brought a paycheck home, clothes on, our kids back, that's how love was shown. We don't go looking, but we won't back down. Threading what's ours and up in the ground. Don't be freedom's foe. Don't bring my family woe. You never known pain like the kind you know. When you make a good man bad, take his peace away, turn a quiet life into a judgment day. It'll be fun, we won't run, cut you down without noise. That's how it goes with the Boomer Boys. Yeah, with the Boomer Boys. Oh. A homegrown sleeper cell, quiet and still, protecting our kids and paying our bills. Leave our culture alone, let a flag fly free, or suffer the storm from every color and creed. Raised by wolves from a harder time, depression, grit, and a war-born mind. They didn't show love like we do today, too tired for our time. Just go out and play. Don't take my freedom, don't threaten my kin. You'd rather take a wolf's kill from its den, or slap a rattlesnake to see what it do. You'll get bit either way, and that's all on you. Our fathers were hard men, they suffered and lost, built tomorrow from nothing, no matter the cost. Knocked down many times, but got back in the game. They showed us the way, then gave us the reins. Don't be freedom's foe. Don't bring my family woe. And if that call comes, you won't hear noise, just a rising stone of the boomer boys.
They thank me for my service. They shake my hand and smile. They say you made it home now, but they don't see the miles. And they don't hear the silence when the world goes to sleep, or see the ghost beside me in the memories I keep. I still see dusty highways, hear the rotor blades above, still see the folded flag handed to the ones they loved. And every single Memorial Day feels like I'm there again, standing in the middle of goodbye, losing brothers, losing friends. 'Cause I never really came back home. Part of me got left behind, with the names carved into stone and the tears that families hide. Everybody says I survived, like somehow I should feel whole. But every day I carry them deep within my soul. I made it back breathing, but I lost so much alone. The truth is, after war, I never really came back home. For some it's just a holiday, a barbecue a day away. But for those who wore the uniform, the hurt never fades away. It's birthdays they'll never celebrate, kids growing up without their dad, mothers holding pictures close, trying not to break too bad. And I asked God why I made it, why my sea was still filled, why I got another sunrise while my brothers never will. There ain't a medal for the guilt, no parade can heal the pain. You just learn to keep on breathing while it pours like endless rain. I never really came back home. Part of me got left behind, with the names carved into stone and the tears that families hide. Everybody says I survived, like somehow I should feel whole. But every day I carry them deep within my soul. I made it back breathing, but I lost so much alone. The truth is, after war, I never really came back home. If you see me staring quiet, please don't think I don't care. I'm just talking to the memories of the ones no longer there. And every laugh, every freedom, every flag that waves today was paid for by the broken hearts of the ones who couldn't stay. No, I never really came back home, though my boots touch American soil. Part of me stayed on that battlefield, in the smoke and fear and turmoil. So this Memorial Day, remember, freedom came with heavy cost, and some of us are still searching for the pieces that
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. You're giving veterans a voice today. Powered by Work Simple, where we simplify your mission.
Find us on the web at mbradio.we.
Dreams in my mind and I know what I gotta do. Streets to the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You are watching another episode of the H Train Show, showing veterans all the programs out there beyond the VA since 2015. Right here on the station that's giving veterans a voice, MBR. You know, we we had some minor technical difficulties with the internet, but like Alex said, I couldn't tell. Amber, you worked that like a champ. I wanted to say good job on that, and thank you so much. See, you're more than eye candy in this show. You were the woman, or in wrestling, the man Becky. You're like Becky, the man.
I have no idea what the heck you're talking about.
I know, but hey, I just wanted to say, everybody that's tuning in, I really appreciate it. You know, we've got on TikTok, we've got Queen, and you know, I was gonna read all these names, but man, the internet is not good today. My wife Cassie, she tuned in. I want to say thank you for that. Even HG tuned in, and he's on the sound, so nobody
had to talk to Amber some way. I don't know what was going on.
That's
thank
awesome.
you, HG.
That's awesome. So before we go into the factor cap, I do want to bring something up that I didn't bring up for the TSA.
Okay.
You know, we always know that the VA really tries their best to, you know, put out information and stuff. But unfortunately, the information that they have on their website, it's kind of incomplete. So we wanted to show you navigation. Now, me, myself, like I'm the one that did the commercial, and I showed up there at Office Depot on Wednesday and, you know, got everything set up, and then set up an appointment, did the drop down box, and yeah, they told me, oh, well, you're not a part of this promotion thing. Oh, you got to call this number.
Oh, really?
Okay, so I had to call this number, and then they gave me another number to call. And see, that's what I mean by, you know, that's what we're here for, is to try to help the navigation. Well, we had one of our veterans, one of our very own veterans. She went into Office Depot, and the reason why I want to bring this up is because, you know, there's a lot of people out there that are just really judgmental. Okay. So like, you know, when I mean judgmental, like, you know, if a husband and wife comes to an event, you know, it's a veteran event, and the person goes right to the man and says, hey, thank you for serving. And, you know, they're like, she's the one served. We need to make sure nowadays that when we go to a couple at an event, you know, you can say, hey, which one of you guys served, you know, to find out. The reason why I bring this up is because our veteran, she went into this Office Depot, or I don't know where it was. I think it was Staples. I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't remember. But she went in there, and the guy looked at her and said, you know what? You don't look disabled. And I'm like,
oh,
answer, right? Look, veterans, and this goes for every veteran, okay? Especially if you have a service dog. When you go into a store and they give you trouble like that, or a disrespect, my suggestion, take the high road, and I'll explain why. Take the high road and just walk the other direction. Don't even sit there and try. Don't even sit there, try to talk to a manager or a storefront or anything like that, because chances are that store manager and those employees, they're buddy, and nothing's going to be fixed. Nothing's going to be happened. You're just going to represent yourself in a bad way. And the best thing to do is to walk away. And then once you walk away and you accomplish the mission, then you can go back and, you know, write to corporate or whoever you need to write to get this, you know, problem resolved.
Yeah.
Reason why it doesn't help to fight is because why increase your stress? I mean, you already have stress as it is. Why increase your stress? Because they're judgmental right up front. You know, I tell people, whenever you call like Comcast or something, if that person can't help you, just hang up the phone. Don't get mad. Call back again. I don't care if he was on hold for like 3 or 4 hours. Just call back again. Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you don't. This is a different society. Not everybody has the same work ethic as you. So you have to figure out, is this person a 9-to-5 person, or is this person willing to go above and beyond?
Well, and it's sad because not everybody presents as disabled all of the time. So like, I'm disabled. I have 100%. I use my cane occasionally when I need it. There are times where I'll use it for a few months. There are times where I won't use it for a few months. But I keep at least a cane in the car. I keep one in the kitchen. And then I have 2 others, or 3 others that I, have around, just in case I need it. But I don't always need it. And so, but there are times when I absolutely need it and can barely walk at all. So that's not cool to talk to somebody like that, especially in customer service.
And especially since she was a female, and I mean it was just disrespect from the get go,
Yeah.
And I just felt so bad. I felt so bad, and I looked through the comments. I don't know if Joy is with us, but Joy, if you're watching this later on, let me know. Let me know if you got your shirt or not, because I did send it.
I'll ask her later.
Yeah, so I have no idea what happened on my screen. That's weird.
Yeah, you're good. I can still see.
Okay, all right. Okay. So with that being said, I think it's time to do the fact or cap.
Is it fact or cap? You tell me.
You bought fish from the market, place it in a bowl of water. If it sinks, it's fresh. If it floats, it's gone bad. Number 2, place an egg in a bowl of water. If it sinks, it's good. If it floats, it's about to go bad, or it's already gone bad. Number 3, olive oil. Place olive oil in the freezer. If it freezes, it means that the quality is good. If it doesn't freeze, it means you bought a low quality olive oil. Number 4, milk. Add a little bit of alcohol to your milk. If nothing happens, then it's good. If it curdles, you already know. Number 5, honey. Add honey to a spoon and heat it up. If it burns, then it's not real honey. Real honey doesn't. Comment yes if this helps, and follow for more tips like this.
Interesting.
Interesting indeed. And we've got some I've got some factor cap questions here. We're going to use some audience participation.
Okay.
So if you answer any of these right, I'm going to have you send me an email with your address and stuff, and we're going to send you a little swag back. I'm going over here to the factor or cap section in my notes so that I can talk about this. I'm still looking for it, actually.
So I was wondering about the fish part. So when you were telling me about the fish part,
yeah,
you said don't eat fish that float to the top. And
right.
I was thinking, okay, yeah, if you're at a pond, don't eat fish that float to the top. But that I don't know. I've never seen somebody put just a dead fish in the water and it float to the top. I don't understand that.
I don't either, but I will tell you this. Here's some other factor caps. Factor cap: bats are blind. What do you think it is, HG?
That's fact. That's why they use
sonar.
Actually, that's cap. They can see quite well.
Oh,
yeah.
Elementary school,
right? Factor cap: bulls get angry at the color red.
That's not true.
Cap: they react to movement, not the color.
Mm-hmm.
Fact or cap: the Great Wall of China can be seen from space?
I heard that's not true.
Cap. Not with the naked eye from orbit. So look at Amber. She's getting all of these right. Fact or cap? Lightning never strikes the same place twice.
That's false.
That's true. Or no, that is cap. It often strikes the same place repeatedly.
Just a fun fact, people who have been struck by lightning before are more likely to be struck again. So that's why when we're out in a thunderstorm, I don't stand next to my husband.
But lightning remembers and it wants to finish the job.
Oh boy, that's funny. Fact or cap? We only use 10% of our brain.
That is false.
So that is cap. We use virtually all parts of the brain, not all at once. So whatever you do, if you're sitting there watching Lucy, it's lying to you. Okay. Have you ever seen that movie?
What a pull.
Have you ever seen that movie, Lucy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. A long time ago when it first came out, I think.
Oh boy. All right. So yeah, that's awesome. So the next thing that we're gonna do, because we're getting in that little time or whatever. Where is it? We're gonna go ahead and hit the. Well, I guess we could go ahead and hit the tribute to the troops unless you have something that you wanted to say or talk about, Amber. Doing the interview first kind of threw the schedule off over here, so I'm trying to find the stuff that we haven't covered yet.
Oh, that's all right.
Because I know that we have a full show today.
Well, yeah. So sorry.
That's okay.
Oh,
I don't know if you covered this or not.
What?
But the story. So there's an extreme summer heat going on right now, not only here in Colorado.
Really?
Because like they changed our watering days in Colorado. Like we used to be able to water 3 times a week. Now we're only able to water 2 times a week. We are out of water in Colorado.
Really?
We are completely out of water. Polis, I guess, tried to do a national emergency, and I guess politically they're not seeing eye to eye, so nothing has been funded yet. But we're seriously in a hurt. But from what I understand, in Europe, there's been tires melted. There's been trash cans melted. Like it's a really bad heat wave overseas right now.
That's interesting because here in Missouri, it's kind of unseasonably cool.
Interesting.
Yeah,
it says record-breaking heat is affecting parts of Europe, reminding all of us that summer temperature can become dangerous. Remember, even if the sun isn't out, make sure you're using sunscreen and you're drinking water because you will get dehydrated if you don't. So make sure you're staying hydrated. Check on elderly neighbors and fellow veterans.
And the alcohol doesn't hydrate.
And right. And, we sit here and tell people to reach out. I tell people that say that, hey, if you know somebody that you haven't heard from and they're quiet, they're not on social media, you need to check them out. You need to call them. You need to see how they're doing. Because there's 3 things that people do not post on social media. Number 1, they not all people post all the bad crap that happened to them. Okay. Some of them just post the good stuff. All right. Second of all, people tend to vent or elaborate their situation on social media so that you know what's going on. Take that kind of a red flag. Just call them, make sure, hey, I just want to check up on you. Your social media posts are starting to revelate to a country song, something like that, right? And Also, never leaving children or pets inside vehicle. Now, that's a really bad one, especially for new parents. Sometimes they forget their kid in the back seat. And you know what? You, as a parent or as a person, you can sit there and judge. But, I, for one, remember when I was with my friend Josh Elliott. He's a Paralympian as well. And we were at a Chinese restaurant in, I think it was Glensdale. I believe it was Glensdale Springs. And we was at a Chinese restaurant. And that was when I had my service dog. And like, I tell my service dog to lay down. And he was so quiet. He was so quiet. I can't remember, Amber, if you met Barrett or not.
I didn't.
But there was a couple times that we drove off 6 miles down the road. I'm like, oh shit, we forgot my service dog. And he's just sitting there sleeping under the table, like nothing's happened. So, make sure you check on them, because even though they're quiet, stuff is bound to happen if you don't.
Okay? Yeah, I got left at a grocery store once by my grandma. I was sleeping at the bottom of the cart. I guess I was probably like 3 or 4, but I remember it. I remember being left there and waking up and being like, where's my grandma? She came back around, but
oh my gosh. Now, we played the what the, and the one thing that I wanted to talk about with the what the that I wasn't able to cover is I love excursions.
Mm-hmm.
Excursions that work. We're not talking about bungee jumping, forgetting to put the rope on. Okay,
yeah, no.
We're talking about good excursions. Like me and Cassie was on an excursion. What was it, like last November? And I got to swim with dolphins. That was an incredible moment. I got to swim with the dolphins. I got to, spend some time, feed the monkeys, learn that there's 2 types of monkeys. There's a squirrel monkey and there's a spider monkey. And I learned a lot that day. So it was an incredible, it was an incredible time. So they were in Thailand, I believe. So that, that little elephant, man, I tell you what, I love animals that just sit there and they love on you and they just lay on you, like that's just the best. But remember, all pets are loyal until it comes food. That just shows you that no matter where you are, no matter who you are, everybody does something for something. Mm-hmm. Everybody does something for something. So, but before we go to our next break, or before we go to tribute to the troops, Amber, do you have anything that you'd like to share that happened this week that since we're covering this stuff on the program, maybe something that we've talked about has entered your life and you'd like to share?
This week I've just been kind of really busy doing a bunch of meetings, and I've been doing a bunch of Freedom of Information Act requests in New York State on a case that was ruled an unaliving, but or self-unaliving, but it doesn't look that way. So I've just been keeping myself super busy this week, and being sick on top of that. So yeah, I can't think of anything at the moment.
Now you got to tell people, because I don't know if you did already, but you got to tell people about your new website that you just designed, and give a little bit of plug about your show and talk about your show coming up Saturday.
Yeah, so I did get a website up and running. It's intotheweedspodcast.net, and all of the cases that we are trying to highlight and bring more information out to the public too is on there. You can reach out to me there. You can access any files. I'm going to start a blog talking about different things that I'm doing and stuff like that. It's a very easy way to share the information if you're interested in it. And then let's see. Oh, and thank you to thecasedive.com for helping me do that. I've had the website for almost a year, I believe, just hadn't creatively understood what I wanted to do. And they came along and helped me out. So, yeah. And then this week, we are going to continue reading the preliminary hearings of Athena Hogan. We'll keep doing that until we go through all of the documents. Occasionally, we may have some interviews or something like that in between. But yeah, that's what we're doing. We're trying to understand what happened in the Athena Hogan case. She was a little girl in Lawton, Oklahoma, Fort Sill. She was actually found right on the line of Fort Sill and Lawton. And she was selling candy bars for a school fundraiser.
Wow.
And so that case happened in 1986. It's never been solved. And I have several connections to it. So I just want to look into it and see what happened.
Awesome. And before we go to Tributes to Troops, just letting you know, we have a lot of shows starting up here at MBR. We have the Veterans Compass that's coming very soon. We have the Bunkhouse that it's already here. It's already had its debut, but just letting you know that it's still there. We also just found out yesterday that the Trucker Mouse show, it will be back. It will be back, and we don't know what day or what time, but it's going to be coming back. We also have the Project. That's going to be, I believe that show deals with mental health awareness on
Postpartum depression.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's the Family Project. And I was supposed to meet with her today. For some reason, I gave her the exact same time that we started the show. I'm like, what are you doing, Amber? So we're rescheduling that.
Sometimes the time change kind of screws you up. You know?
I get confused with Mountain, Eastern, and Central Time. I'm going to be honest. I live in all three of them.
It's really interesting. It's really interesting. Whatever time you're at, you just got to remember that you're 3 hours behind Pacific, 2 hours behind Denver, and then I say that backwards. 2 hours behind Pacific, 1 hour behind Mountain, and then 2 hours ahead of if you're on the East Coast, 2 hours ahead of Central. So it's boom, boom, boom. So with that, I'm trying to think. There was another show. Oh, Lean into Legacy with JJ. She couldn't do the cartoon day because of her being sick, but she had a fantastic show Monday. Really, really good information. Really good insight. Other than that, if you have nothing, Amber, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and head to our next break / the tribute to the troops. And when we come back from commercial, we're going to go into the final thoughts. So whatever you do, stay with us. Don't go away. You're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA, right here on station that's giving veterans a voice and letting their veterans' voices be heard. MBR. Stay with us.
Detail attention.
First call. The service member's name is called out loud in the context of a unit. This is meant to ensure all are present and accounted for. Second call. The name is called out again, louder, to confirm that the service member is indeed absent. Third call. The name is called out for a final time, followed by a statement indicating that the service member is not present and accounted for, signifying their death. The final roll call serves as a symbolic gesture to respect and remember their service.
So I don't know how to tell the story.
Well, you got to, Joe. You tell these people what these men did here. You tell them how my troopers died.
Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to MBR today. We pay tribute to Army Specialist Karen N. Clifton, age 22, of Lehigh Acres, Florida. Karen was born on May 10, 1985 in Mount Zion, Illinois, to Doug Clifton and Chris Hancock. Her family recalls her wanting to join the Army as a young girl. They tried to talk her out of it, but that's what she wanted to do. She wanted to be on the front lines and she wanted to support her country. Clifton grew up loving poetry, music, film, shopping, and IndyCar racing. She was active in the Mount Zion, Illinois Police Department Explorers program before moving to Florida to complete her high school education. Karen joined the Army after high school graduation in 2003. Karen was assigned to the 554th Military Police Company 95 Military Police Battalion in Kaiserslautern, Germany. While there, she began attending college and hoped to become a state trooper after serving her time in the Army. Karen was deployed with her unit to Baghdad as part of Operation Iraqi Freedom. On June 21, 2007, while in Baghdad, Iraq, Specialist Clifton was in a vehicle that was hit by a rocket-propelled grenade. She died from the wounds she sustained in the explosion. Karen was a specialist at the time of her death and was posthumously promoted to corporal. Her family reflects that Karen loved her career and she cared about everyone like they were family. The legacy of Corporal Karen Clifton continues to live on through sweat and grit during the annual Corporal Karen Clifton Challenge, a physically demanding competition put on by soldiers from the 554th Military Police Company 709th MP Battalion, 18th MB Brigade in Germany. Karen is survived by her father, Doug, and mother, Chris, her sister, Cindy, as well as extended family and her brothers and sisters in arms. We here at MBR would like to thank you, Corporal Karen N. Clifton, for your service and dedication to our country. You leave a legacy of love and courage. Our prayers are with your family, friends, and those who served alongside you. You are truly missed.
Bell detail, pinch it. Ready.
Signed up to fight for freedom. What a price you had to pay. Picture in her helmet, missing family every day. Your Lady Liberty, dressed like G.I. Jane. Some scars we'll never see. She will never be the same. She's a mother, she's a daughter, she's a sister and a friend. standing tall in that uniform until the very end. When Uncle Sam called, she signed that line to serve, 'cause you can't spell hero without her. On that old dusty base with the meadows that shine, she's been to hell and back for the stars and the stripes. Your Lady Liberty, dressed like G.I. Jane, and some scars we'll never see, and she will never be the same. She's a mother, she's a daughter, she's a sister and a friend, standing tall in that uniform until the very end. When Uncle Sam called, she signed that line to serve, 'cause you can't spell hero without her. Yeah, yes. For the ones that didn't make it, we will pause and then we cry. We can still see their smile in every sunrise. She's a mother, she's a daughter, she's a sister and a friend, standing tall in that uniform until the very end. When Uncle Sam called, she signed that line to serve, 'cause you can't spell hero without her. 'Cause you can't spell hero without her.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. You're giving veterans a voice today. Powered by Work Simple, where we simplify your mission.
Find us on the web at mbradio.we.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Once again, you're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA. You're listening to the H Train Show right here on MBR. This June 26th, Red Friday. And we hope you have a fantastic time. Check this out. Hey, we got one more week, and it's July 4th. And because there's no water in Colorado, let's be smart out there, everybody. Let's not let's not crack those fireworks, okay? Because we're losing a lot of ground here lately because of all the fires and stuff.
My little brother caught a field on fire with fireworks once. And luckily my uncle lived in the country, and my other uncle responded to the fire.
Oh, wow. Once again, I want to say to Tracer, thank you for doing a tribute.
Yes,
we really appreciate it. We really do. It's always looking good. You know, I was thinking here what we could do, because we already did Fact Cap, and we're going to do final thoughts, but I wanted to share something with you. If you are near a micro center right now, that 3D printer, it's on sale. It's like $6.99, and I wanted to share some of the things that I've found out, that I've learned about printing. Okay. First of all, the AMS, which is basically it looks like a storage unit that you put the filament, the rolls in. And it feeds it to the 3D printer to create kind of like a color printer. Well, one thing I found out yesterday is because of the way the hose and kinks are, you don't supposed to put that AMS on top of the 3D printer. You're supposed to put it on the side of that 3D printer as well. Also, if you're using there's a bunch of different filaments. You've got PLA, Okay. And think of it kind of like motor oil. Okay. You have all these different brands, and all these different brands with like these different numbers. These different numbers equivalent for where you're running, you know, or you're in Colorado or you're in Florida, because if you get humidity into the filament, it can ruin your filament. It can make it go like dry. So that's one thing that I want you to know. Before I bought my 3D printer, I thought you just loaded some plastic, hit print, and walked away. Boy, was I wrong. There are so many different kinds of filaments, and every one of them behaves differently. So, for example, play that I was talking about, it's the easiest to print. It's great for beginners, toys, decorations, prototypes. It usually prints around 190 to 220 Cs with a bed around 50 or 60 Cs. Okay. And play is, well, that's like the common. That's what everybody uses. All right. Now, PETG, it's a little bit stronger. Okay, so it's going to withstand heat a little bit better. So, like if you have a dashboard or you want to make something for a car using you would utilize that. So that's the difference between PETG and PLA. TPU. This TPU is rubber. I mean, when we talking rubber, we're talking rubber, okay? And all the last two that I was talking about, the PETG and the TPU, you can actually use they have a 0.2 millimeter, a 0.4 millimeter, and a 0.6 millimeter nozzle. And you can get hardened, you can get steel, you can get a different bunch of these nozzles that you put on. Okay. And the nozzle depends on what you're using. So for example, play and PTG, those would be best with 0.4, and like the TPU, you definitely want to use a 6 or not a 6, but yeah, a 6. And the only time that you go to an 8 is when you're doing something really, really gigantic big. All right. Then we have ABS. Or the TPU is a flexible rubber-like filament. That's what people use for phone cases, gaskets, protective covers. It's like about 210 to 240 degrees C and a 40 to 60 degrees C bed, but it prints much slower because it's flexible. Yeah.
Guess who's in the chat?
Who?
It's Joy.
Joy, we were talking about you. I hope you got your red shirt. I hope you're doing fine. Welcome to the show.
Good to see you.
Is you can make condoms with TPU if you really wanted to, just showing it there. And you can't do TPU on an AMS. You have to use the external spool. Then we have ABS, which is very durable and heat resistant. It's used for automotive parts and tougher projects, but requires higher temperatures, about 240 to 260 Cs, with a bed around 90 to 100 Cs. And it really needs to be enclosed printer because it can warp. I have not attempted to use an ABS yet. I'm not at that level. Then you have ASA, which is similar to ABS, but handles sunlight much better, making it great for outdoor signs and equipments. It prints around 240 to 260 C with a 90 to 110 C heated bed. And when I say it prints around 240 to 260 Cs, that nozzle is what you're judging on temperature, and it will give you all these different measurements on that 3D printer. So then we're going to go to nylon. I didn't even know about this one. It's incredibly strong and wear resistant. It often is used for gears, mechanical parts. It typically prints around 250, 280 Cs with a 70 to 100 C bed temperature, and it needs to stay dry because it absorbs moisture from the air. In fact, all of these things absorb moisture in the air, and I gotta tell you, if I had one thing that I could recommend to anybody, make sure once you buy that filament, keep it in the bag. Don't tear it open until it's time to use it. And I don't think you can go too far away. And when there are specialty filaments like carbon fiber, which I have, it's a form of PETG, wood, silk, metal filled, and glow in the dark. I got glow in the dark also. Some of those require a hardened steel nozzle because they're abrasive and will wear out a standard brass nozzle over time. Kind of like TPU. Another thing nobody told me is moisture matters. Even here in Colorado, keeping filament sealed with Decent helps it better print. And in more humid climates, it's even more important. Okay, so we're gonna have a better time here in Colorado compared to Florida. Florida, you guys are just screwed. Finally, don't assume every problem is your printer. Sometimes it's a tangled spool. That happens a lot, especially if you're rewinding it. Dirty build plate. Oh my god. It's like washing your hands. You want to make sure that you hit it with soap and water after every print. And then after every print, there's a little bottle of like adhesive spray that you can purchase. You don't have to, but it does make it easier. I spray it on 2 squirts, one on each half. Okay. Another thing nobody told me is I don't hold on. I've only been printing and simply choosing the wrong filament for the job. That can be a hassle. And I don't know, remember HG when I brought in those Batman those floppers? Yeah. So you know how you have the like the spider webs and all that crap there? Well, that's because that was TPU and then it got too hot. If it gets too hot, it can create like a spider web. It can create like different, patterns and stuff like that. And when you create something and you get spaghetti, watch how that nozzle hits. Sometimes that nozzle can hit at the wrong time at an object, and it'll peel it right off of the plate. That's what we're talking about. And that metal plate, it comes out. You just wash it with soap and water on both spots, dry it off, and put it in there. It's perfect. It really is. I've only been printing for a short time, but every failed print has taught me something new. So if you're thinking about getting into 3D printing, don't be discouraged by mistakes. Every expert started with spaghetti print somewhere. And remember, here at MBR, we're teaching this. We're teaching this. And if you, like, for example, want to set up an appointment and you want to learn, we can teach you virtually. We can't really teach you hands-on, but we can teach you virtually. We have video, and it'll show in the printer lab the video of how everything is going. And we can show you, how to change this, how to do that. Yesterday, our beaker, the guy that helped me create it too big, so I had to scale it down. So, everything is fixable. It really is. And so that's my bit on 3D printing, and it's time for the final thoughts.
At Project ML, gratitude. Our mission is simple: to give motorcycles to veterans who need the kind of peace and freedom that only a ride can give. We sponsor charity events and rides to generate donations and fund the acquisition of some bikes, while direct bike donations make up the rest. We seek to provide a little motorcycle healing to capable vets.
All right, and if you have a vet or you are a vet yourself and you don't have a motorcycle, make sure you nominate a veteran or nominate yourself. Go to ML Project Gratitude and fill out that application. Such a fantastic nonprofit, fantastic group. Love Kim to death. And the person that received that motorcycle 2 weeks ago, that was Amelia. We still got to get her on the show. I've been slacking a little bit this week. Yeah, because my birthday was Wednesday. The big 4-8. The big 4-8. But you know what? I don't feel 48. I feel like I'm 22 or 21. I still feel young, I mean, I'm not like eye candy or anything, but I don't have very many wrinkles, so I think I'm doing pretty damn good.
Yeah, you're a year older than me, or just a little under a year.
Oh man! All right, so HG, what did you learn today?
Well, actually, you kind of gave me a funny idea for like a sitcom. You were talking about 3D printing condoms, and now I'm just like, this guy, the premise is that a one night stand, turns into an unexpected pregnancy because of 3D. He 3D printed the condoms wrong, and shenanigans ensue after that. But I don't think I'm talented enough to compose a 90-minute movie out of that.
Oh, hey, I tell you what.
If anybody's got the writing chops, feel free to take that. It's all yours.
Pitch it to Kevin Smith.
Just throw like my name in the credits somewhere. Like that. You can bury it at the bottom. That's all I care about.
Oh my gosh! I tell you what, we're me and Murph, man, we're working on the next cartoon. And when I saw my daughter Saturday, she was telling me that my granddaughter loves that cartoon. Like she sings that song that I wrote, the All Dogs Deserve Dad song. So that was kind of incredible, And I could not forget one of my baddie friends on TikTok, Jesse Skittles. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. And Penelope from the Baddies. If you're a TikToker, you need an agency, check out Next Gen. They're pretty good. Let me tell you. Amber.
Yeah.
What did you learn today?
So I learned that I'm really interested in what Alex was doing with what he is doing with the Cumulus. So I'm going to go check that out because I really have been trying to do some kind of family project of my own. And I want to check out what he's got going and see if that might actually be something that would be conducive. So, and then just the fact that, we don't really think about it, but architecture and all of that really does bring about, the best in humanity. When somebody can plan out a city or plan out a building or whatever that brings the community together, it's so great. And I saw some examples of his work, out in Toronto and other places. And, he's an amazing artist. And so I'm excited to actually talk to him on my show.
Nice. And I tell you what, one thing that I learned today is remind everyone to check on another veteran. Call someone that they love and remember that one conversation can change a life. Reinforce that military broadcast radio exists to give veterans a voice. And and the reason why I bring that up is because Alex's dad was going through cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And Alex used architecture as a way to serve a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
That just reiterates how much doing something helps your mentality. It really does.
Oh, HG, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say, do I have a thing for safety briefing? I forget. Or do I not, HG? I forget.
Safety brief?
You've got it in the notes. I can't remember what I was going to. So he was talking about legacy and stuff like that. And one of the ways, this is dumb, but I'm going to do it anyways.
Okay.
So I love history, and I figure, if the world continues to go hundreds or even thousands of years past, when I pass away, when I pass away, I want people to put weird and strange objects in my casket. Things that are like completely and totally just absolutely bizarre. So that if I get dug up one day, people are going to be like, what the heck is it?
Oh, like the guy in Ireland that put a tape recorder in his coffin as a lowered down. Hey, let me out.
I didn't hear about that. No, I want stuff that's actually gonna, maintain, even though, a long time. So,
right.
I'm just, I want one day for somebody, if they decide to open my tomb up or my casket up, that they find some of the weirdest and most bizarre things they've ever seen.
Well, I haven't heard from HG, so I'm going to figure that I didn't make one. So I'm just going to tell.
I mean, it's your usual.
Okay.
Your usual safety brief.
Just in the notes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as a safety brief is as follows. Talk about drinking responsibility, using a designated driver, walking away from arguments, avoiding confrontations with retail employees, wearing life jackets while boat and double checking safety gear before activities like a bungee jumping or a zip lining, and remember to ask, you did hook me up, right? It's okay to do that. All right. Make sure that you come back and see us next Friday, because next Friday we have our guest is going to be Michael Payne. He is the author of Unshaken Resolve, and he will be in studio to talk about his brand new book. He's also my commander from my first deployment. Okay. And then, of course, just a reiteration that the supporter who makes the largest donation to military broadcast radio by the end of the month will receive the very official beaker ever created. Listeners, About MB Radio, TV, military broadcast radio, the internet radio network, and station is powered by Simple Radio. We encourage everyone to follow the Facebook page and Roku channel for upcoming events and announcements. Mention that skydiving event has been canceled this year, but new community events are being planned. Please keep checking with our Facebook page. We'll keep you contact. And with that being said, I'm looking for my thing there. With that being said, here at MBR, we got HG behind the glass. Thank you, HG. Got my eye candy, Amber. Amber always killing it, let me tell you. And once again, everybody, from everybody here to everybody watching and listening, remember, we're here for you, not for us. We're giving veterans a voice. See you next Friday, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.